help you out with our VIA portfolio. But there's a couple announcements first. The Victorville prison visit next Monday has to be canceled.
Oh,
So we're moving that to August 26th, which will still be on a Monday. It's the same format. We'll leave as soon as you get done with your Dr. Birch's class. I know somebody emailed me about the conflict there. As soon as he gets done, you'll head up and we'll meet at 1 o'clock for the orientation. Yes.
yeah.
Is this on? Oh, yeah. Good. Okay, so as I mentioned, the Victorville prison rotation orientation for next Monday, the 22nd, is canceled. I'll go ahead and put this on Canvas as well. It is now moved to August 26th, Monday afternoon. So those of you on clinic that were scheduled for August 26th will now be treating patients on Monday the 22nd. So we'll move you forward. And Jeanette and Barbara are working on that now to get patients scheduled for you. The reason it had to be canceled is they failed to give us the paperwork that clears us to go into the facility. So that was an oversight on their part. They have to have our driver's license, Social Security, passports, things like that for us to go into the federal facility. Yes?
So if we do not have clinic on that day, then this next coming Monday, we don't have anything.
Correct. Yes, so if you have clinic on August 26th, Monday, you'll have that clinic on July 22nd,
Next week.
this coming Monday. Yes. Is that clear? And you'll get an email about that as well. Yeah.
And is it still 11 to 5?
Well, that's what I'm saying. We can't leave at 11 because your class, as someone mentioned, does not get out until noon, most likely. So we'll have to leave right after that, and it takes about 45 minutes to get there. So you'll have to find lunch on the road, and we'll start as soon as we all get there at 1 o'clock with that orientation. If,
Are you gonna do this?
am I being, yeah.
Are you gonna buy us all?
No. All right. No, we do travel expense, basically your travel, but you need a carpool. And the driver gets reimbursed, not everyone else.
Oh,
Okay, the only thing that we have for this class period is to look at the template on VIA, which is, as my understanding, talking with Ms. Nelson and Ms. Gutierrez last week, is sort of in flux. They're always wanting information about how they can make it better, the company, with Watermark. So they'll be talking to you about that. In Canvas, you do have an assignment that's due next week. And I'll talk to you a little bit about that as we finish up here. So, Christina Gutierrez, fifth floor, Dr. Essie's office, Academic Affairs, Director of Records. So I'm sure many of you have already talked to Christina. And then Mrs. Nelson, Lisa Nelson, with the Dr. Handyside, the Dean's office, is his project manager. So I'm going to give the mic over to them. If you have any questions, be sure to ask now, because this is basically your only orientation to this network.
So you'll be able to access this webpage by going to vialifetext.com and logging in with your LDAP credentials. So this is regular LifeText, so you want to make sure you type in vialifetext.com.
And you guys all have access to that, correct?
Can you confirm that you all have access to this?
have confirmed that in the past.
Perfect. Okay.
Whether or not they have the password, they were supposed to.
So if you try your email as well as your password that you use to log on to all university. Does that work? Yes, this is different than regular Live Tech, so this is their upgraded system. So they have basically revamped it and added more features, so we all transition.
Yep, so would we have the same login as the regular one?
My understanding is that it would be the same login.
That's how we're
doing them.
I don't think we set up this.
When I initially did this, I had the email on
Okay. If you guys aren't able to access it, what we'll do is double check on your account and then email you the instructions on how to log on.
Okay.
Okay, so you'll be able to access the portfolio through the Showcase tab of VIA. If you have not created one, you'll access it by clicking this red plus sign and selecting Create Showcase. So what it gives you is a blank slate, so you have the ability to add several different components that you can choose from the left-hand sidebar. You also have the ability to choose a theme that best suits your personality or what you're trying to portray. If any of these don't work for you, you have the option of creating your own theme with the colors of your choice. So back to the content area, you'll want to revisit Canvas and see what type of instruction Ms. Marshall has provided for this particular assignment so that you can cater what you're building here to meet those requirements. So here you have sections that are available. Once you select your layout, whether you want a 1-column, 2-column, or 3-column layout for the row, you'll be able to add content. You have the ability to enter text with images or even include multimedia such as video. So if you have any assignments that you feel will meet some of your competencies, you can attach that as well. So here we have an example that we've created for you to see what the capabilities of this platform are. And you'll have the ability to write an intro, put some information about yourself. As you move through your senior year, you'll be completing some assignments through this platform. And so what's here in the middle is a timeline feature, which will essentially import some of the rubrics that you've been assessed on. So that will pre-populate based on any assessments that you complete within VIA. So here, one of those assessments has been chosen and it has been highlighted on the left. So if you feel that there's one particular assessment that you feel should be showcased, you can highlight that information there. On the right, we have a video that was linked from YouTube, so you'll have the ability to include that information. With your assignment, Ms. Marshall indicated that you'll have several competencies to cover, so you'll have the ability to create new pages within your portfolio to address each one of those. So there'll be a left-hand side navigation that's fully customizable, so whatever you want to do in your pages, you can adjust them. Can you reload it?
You can move, yeah.
Yeah, so you can move that and adjust it as needed. Does anybody have any questions? So after you log on using via livetext.com, once we set up your accounts, then you'll go to the Showcase tab. And then once you're in the Showcase tab, on the bottom right-hand corner, you'll have plus the @ sign. So if you want to create one and just get familiar with the software, you can do that.
You can create as many as you want, so play with it, have fun with it. If you don't like it, you can always delete it, manipulate it, move it, start over.
Yes, so this is where you will be making your portfolio for GNHY. So there are several assignments throughout the academic year where you have to meet certain milestones, and you would submit this portfolio. So if you go to the Share tab on the top layer of the navigation, you'll be able to adjust the dongle that makes this public so that you can share the URL with your instructor.
Now, when you make that public, is that really public or is it just to the member?
This is
Really
public
public.
to whoever has a URL. So,
Okay, so we don't want to make it public.
Even if they don't have any PHI?
Even if we're-
Even if they don't have any PHI?
okay, so if we're electing not to make this public,
Well, PHI.
then we can just ensure that that is turned off. So what you can do is essentially use the, oh yes, and then you have to,
So they're submitting that to their instructor instead of making it public
Okay.
to say like an employer.
Oh, yeah, nothing public. So, once you're going to be assigned,
We're going to be assigned a faculty mentor, as I mentioned before. Barbara has that ready, so I'll be posting that in Canvas. Their portfolios, when they share, should only go to those mentors. So those groups have to be created. Is what Heidi will do. Okay.
They can make it so it's not public. It's just the features there for them if they want to share this with the instructor.
Yeah, yeah, well, that would be after, yeah, okay. And at this point, it's only between them and their faculty, myself.
So what she's saying is basically for the purposes of the portfolio practicum course, you're gonna make it so that it's only private and then you're not sharing that. When you know, are finished with your curriculum here and you're looking for a potential, job afterwards, you can make this public, you can share that with them and they can see some of the accomplishments that you've achieved while you were here. It's a great tool.
Saludo.
with their faculty mentors, there will be a rubric attached.
so there'll be a rubric attached that gives you the breakdown of the areas that will be assessed. And so you'll see what kind of parameters you have to achieve in order to.
Which, and these rubrics are already in your syllabus.
Be tied to this.
There's two syllabus in your Canvas course. One is just a Word document, and another one is a formal syllabus. It's probably easier to read the actual requirements if you break it down in a Word document, especially for summer.
So no, this isn't dental hygiene.
Yeah, this is an example that we have from the dental program. So it's built in a very similar way. So it'll identify the standards. You'll have a score at the top, and you'll have several elements on the left-hand side. And on each row, you'll have a check mark that will identify if an area is met or not met, and it'll have a description of that.
And comments, but you'll be getting feedback from your faculty mentor about what to change, what they like, and what to do different.
What we're gonna do is make something available for you, and then if you guys have any questions, you can send them my way. So if you guys don't already know me or have my email, so my office is on the 5th floor, 5514, and my email is cpgutierrez@lu.edu.
In Canvas, there is a link to line text. Is that now the wrong template?
Yes, that needs to be updated. I hadn't even thought about that, but yeah.
Because in my Canvas course, you can link,
Yeah,
put you in the live text, not the live text.
yeah, I gotta do a new LTI.
So this is where we're going to come in
Yes.
Well, that's a separate.
Yeah, that's a separate thing, but yes.
It's the same product.
Service Learning or Nikki Sepulveda from Academic Affairs will send you out a video of how you guys can submit those service learning hours. Okay.
So the one thing, I'm glad you brought this up, because with your service learning, you can use portions of what you do with service learning into your portfolio on service.
Paints a full picture of what
Yeah,
you're doing while
professional
you're here.
organization, you attend Wright County or CDHA, those kinds of, as well as your service dentistry, as well as your service to the community. They definitely can be inserted into your competency for your portfolio, but tracking them is a whole different.
Okay, so just reaffirming, so we are no longer using live text for our service learning. I mean, I know this is a different subject. We're no longer using live text for service learning. We're using VIA.
Correct.
And what about last quarter?
Last quarter was the last quarter on live text
Okay.
for submission. So if you have any additional hours that haven't been posted or clocked, then make sure you touch base with Nikki Sepulveda and let her know so she can go back and enter those or walk you through that in the system.
So
You just got service learning yesterday.
So the ones from last quarter have to be moved on to here, or they automatically?
Nope, you don't have to do anything. They're just calculated in that old system going forward. So summer term going forward, everything's in the new system.
So, should I email someone? So, how many of you currently have access to VIA by a raise of hands?
Change your password.
Change your password.
Yeah, just say for my password again.
So if you guys aren't able to access the system, you're welcome to email me and I'll work on activating, getting your account reset.
Wait, how do we?
So my email, I'll send a message in your Canvas shell. So I'll send a message in the Canvas shell for 328 and let you guys know my contact information so you can reach out.
Are you gonna show us how to add hours on VIA?
Nikki
That's
Sepulveda,
a-
yeah, with service learning, will send you guys out a video showing you guys how to do it.
Okay.
Okay?
Is there any other questions we can answer today?
In 2 weeks, we meet again, according to my schedule, just to go over this again, okay? If you have any questions between now and then, be sure to write them down so we can tuck that into class. You can contact Christina. And some of your faculty will probably need a little bit updating as well.
I'm thinking some of the faculty will need updating as well, because they haven't seen this new showcase. But they're generally pretty astute with this. Yes,
You said 2 weeks, does that mean we're not meeting next week, or?
next week we're not meeting.
Okay.
Just to make sure, let me look at my schedule. And because we were doing Monday, that's why I wasn't meeting Tuesday.
Right?
30th is a face-to-face class.
Yeah.
Portfolio samples, continued discussion about the projects. The 23rd, so next Tuesday, we do not meet on Tuesday. And you won't be going to Victorville either on Monday. You'll only have clinic or no clinic.
Oh, but we have ortho conference.
That's the afternoon, so, sorry.
Thank you, guys. Okay, or later. So you're sure, those of you who couldn't log in right now, you're sure that you had the right password, like your log on for the university, right? And you still couldn't get it?
Change your password. Yeah, we just changed the password.
The rest that they have it, they changed the password. They changed the password, so date was written.
Okay, so you can't log on with your current log on to the network. That's interesting. You're supposed to be able to do that. So I'm not sure what's going on with Watermark. I'm glad she brought out the one term. I'm using the portfolio term, and through VIA it's called Showcase, which makes sense. So I'll try to incorporate that new term so we're not talking about two separate things. But basically you're creating a portfolio of your projects here on campus. Anything else that is on your mind you want to? Yes?
I see there's an HIV assignment, like a case study assignment
Yes.
for the HIV block.
Yes.
Do we fill that out right after we finish our block, or are we gonna get more instructions on that?
I thought there was an email that came through Miss Lee's class about that. I know I saw it. And my understanding was it was pre-block, getting that information done before you go. Yeah.
I got
That is, you're going tomorrow morning?
Yes.
The first group? Okay. I'll try, I know I have the email, I haven't deleted it. Let me see if I can find it real
Is it
quick.
an email or an announcement?
Well, I got the email directly from Dr. Cho.
Yeah, it's an email through our LLU.
Oh.
Yeah. And Heidi Cooley. And it was outlining exactly what was going on with the modules that you have to read, be prepared. And then you're going to actually be entering that block rotation then into VIA as well. Because that is a service learning site. Yes?
I'm sorry, did you say what time the orientation is going to be on the 26th or?
That will start in Victorville at 1 o'clock. So basically, as soon as you get done with class. And I'll try to talk to Dr. Kwan, make sure she's not going over, which I don't think she usually does. So you should have plenty of time to go.
But it's on Friday.
August.
August 26th, Monday, yeah. We're just flipping Mondays. Yeah, instead of the 22nd of July, we're going to Victorville, August 26th. And I'm going to change that on my Canvas site as well, so you'll have, yes.
So
Yeah.
what I was talking about earlier, the information that I got in the email, that was for a separate thing. This is for live text. There's an assignment that's due at the end of the quarter for HIV rotation. It's asking us to report on a case study. And there's just like a couple sentences of instructions, but
Yeah, I'm not aware of that. I'm going to have to figure out
yeah.
what, any information like that needs to be presented in that block for you guys. They're trying to track your experience through VIA and get some data on how you felt about it. That's what they're doing to support the grant, which supports that rotation. It doesn't surprise me. Okay, I'm going to go back to my office. I'm going to post your faculty mentors. I'm going to change the date for Victorville. And in 2 weeks, we'll again meet at 10 on Tuesday, and we'll talk about some of the progress hopefully you've been making, at least getting into VIA, starting your template, getting your comps in there, the core competencies. Now, the assignment you have is also in Canvas. It's an abstract. Do you know what an abstract is? You've taken research, so
Yes.
or you're in it. So it's basically a short version of an article that researchers have studied. And this one has to do specifically with portfolio development and how we assess or how we use it for assessment. There are about 7 questions also posted there in Canvas under assignments that you'll be answering. They're basic questions about the abstract itself, the conclusions, the results, things like that. So now that you've got a little foot in the pond in research and stats, I think you should be able to hopefully answer those questions and then resubmit it. There's a link that you can resubmit that. I'll give you credit in your Canvas course for that. And that would be due, I believe, 30th, yeah.
So let's just read the 2 pages.
Yeah, read this abstract, answer the questions. And every question that's answered is actually discussed there in the abstract. So you don't have to go looking for anything. It's right there in front of you. Yeah.
What's the abstract name? Like where is that
Abstract under assignments.
at? I went there.
And then it's the second one down, abstract questions homework.
But where's
The educational effects of portfolios on undergraduate student learning.
Oh, it's a blank page.
And it's a PDF basically that was posted in there that you, instead of reading it on paper. Okay, well, I appreciate all your help yesterday and the CID workshop. I heard it went really well. Any reflection on the students? You think they're ready to come to dental school and dental hygiene? And what do you think? How'd those hand skills go, huh? Yeah.
It was-
They looked as lost as you all did. Yes, they did. They do, yeah. But they're always excited. They want to hear all about what you're experiencing. So hopefully you had some good interaction with them and gave them some good advice. And is anybody, were there very many interested in dental hygiene?
There was one.
Just one? Yeah. It's usually a couple.
There
Yeah.
were some that were really confused. They weren't sure which one to go.
Yeah.
They were like,
Yeah.
what's the difference?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, dentists don't even know the difference sometimes. That's why we have the Bridge Pathway program. So we are catching a lot of people who are interested in dentistry, don't know exactly which way, and maybe not, able to do one or the other. So, okay. Appreciate your attention, and I'll.
We're done.
All right.